Alright, welcome to Ring Talk Boxing. So, Deontay Wilder sends the Nordic Nightmare straight into Dreamland in the first round of their fight. And it was you'd have to class that as a typical Deontay Wilder performance and result, wouldn't you? And it was always going to be intriguing, I think, because after all three Fury fights, was Wilder going to be there mentally? Was he going to be there physically? Because from the last two fights with Fury, I seen a side of Wilder that I didn't think existed. I really didn't. You know, he showed grit, he showed heart, and he did show great determination, and he showed a brilliant chin. Because no matter what people say about Fury's power, you've got a near 300-pound heavyweight smacking you for 8 to 12 rounds. It's going to hurt. And so it was always going to be intriguing to see how Wilder came into it. And all the signs were good before the fight, of course. He dropped the weight, which he'd put on for the third Fury fight. Which I always thought, anyway, was a bit odd, because he already is one of the, if not the biggest puncher in boxing at the moment. And he decides to put on that weight to try and, one, be able to wrestle with Fury, and two, I seen in one interview he's saying add more power to his punching, but you've already got the best weapon you can. Why are you going to try to add to it and then take away the speed, which is going to help you land it, as well as the stamina issues you would encounter? But anyway, and Helenius approached the fight that I thought he would. I think he thought, right, I'm going to be the heavier man in there. I'm going to push forward a bit like Fury did, because Wilder isn't very good on the back foot. And that's what I thought was really interesting. I thought Wilder got this knockout from being on the back foot, albeit in the corner. Because just before the knockout, you did have Helenius coming forward for Wilder, with Wilder moving back. I mean, of course, Helenius was just plodding forward in a straight line, making it very easy for him to get clipped. Which he isn't. Helenius, as much as he can ban, he does also get hit quite a lot anyway. But I did think Helenius would try and implement that kind of style. And it was really interesting to see Helenius pushing him back. Wilder, he did look a little bit more impressive in terms of his footwork, but slightly. But either way, his tactic is to try and knock them out, and it worked. So, yeah, to see Helenius come in with shots, as I say, albeit he was easy to read and he obviously has slow hands, but Wilder obviously just with that quick counter, very short right hand, and just lays Helenius out. I just thought it was really interesting to see Wilder be able to do that from being pushed back, which is obviously what Fury used to beat Wilder. So you wonder if there has been a lot of work going in to Wilder fighting more on the back foot, or it could have just been a reactionary right hand. Looking back at it, could have been either of them. But I'll give Wilder the benefit of the doubt and say that he has been practicing being pushed on the back foot. And this was a great example of how him having that quick counter right hand, you can still lay people out. Because normally he obviously has the left jab, and then he normally needs all the space he can get to throw that big right hand. But it was just a short little 6-inch punch. I got Helenius out, and it shows he still has the power, even with losing all that weight. And then it was like 25 pounds or something that he'd end up losing. So it shows he can still operate in the heavyweight division. He doesn't seem mentally scarred by the few fights, physically scarred by the few fights. Of course, this was just less than 3 minutes in his first fight back against an aging opponent like Helenius. But Helenius had been on a good run. He did really hurt Kalnaki in both fights. So I was still seeing it as a dangerous opponent. But yeah, I mean, Deontay Wilder rolls on. I think Helenius said that he was going to retire, which by now, what else can he do? He's had a decent career. He's had a good payday from Wilder having beat Helenius, so it's probably the right thing for him. He can't be getting laid out like that at his age anymore. But for Wilder, it's really just, I mean, he was calling out Usyk and Joshua afterwards, but it looks like it's going to be the Wiz fight next, which I think is a really intriguing fight. Because it's so easy to watch Wilder spark out Helenius like he did and be like, well, that's exactly what he'll do to Ruiz. But Ruiz's hand speed is so good. But, of course, he's just a flurry fighter. If Ruiz was able to get inside Wilder and keep going and fight on the inside and not allow Wilder to get the space to throw his right hand, it could be really interesting. But at the moment, you see Ruiz trying to get inside, which is, I don't want to be hard anyway not to get hit by Wilder when he's trying to do that. Because he hasn't got the fastest of feet, Ruiz. But if he gets in, he throws 3 or 4 punches. We've seen that Wilder has a really good chin. So if he throws 3 or 4 punches, he's not likely to hurt him early on. Then he has to step back and take a breather or be pushed back by Wilder, which will allow Wilder to get that space to throw the right hand. So right now at this moment, I think it's definitely Wilder's fight to lose. But still a really intriguing fight to see what Ruiz can do. Can he hurt Wilder? And Ruiz has got a great chin himself. Because we haven't really only seen Fury be able to get up on multiple occasions from Wilder's punches. So is it just a case that Fury has just got a great powers of recovery, better than anyone else in the world? Or is Wilder still hitting those people without the greatest of chins? So you've got what I would class as another world-class chin in Ruiz, to see if he can take them punches or find a way inside. But either way, yep, Helenius is probably the right thing to retire. He's made a good bit of money the last couple of years. Wilder moves on. He doesn't look like he's aging at all, so I think he can still have a good run in the heavyweight division. But yeah, him and Ruiz would be a really good fight, I believe. But if they can somehow get the Wilder Usyk fight before he fights Ruiz, if Fury's going to take a bit longer to get ready for that fight next year, I think that's a really interesting fight. I would like to see that. It's just two opposite. One's all about boxing and skill and timing, and then you've got one who's like just done that big right hand. I think it could be really interesting. But either way, let me know what you thought of the fight with Wilder and Helenius and what you think you should do next. Cheers for checking out Ring Toward Boxing.